So here we are under lockdown, and I thought I might try a little reading something that I've just written, the prologue to a book that at the moment I'm calling Forget-Me-Not, set in World War II in London. I thought I'd just try it out because hopefully this might one day be the start of my next book. So here we go. Forget-Me-Not, the prologue. The gas mask box slaps at her side, urging her on. Run, run as fast as you can. The girl hurries, her feet slapping against the cobbles. Behind her, she can hear heavier feet, running too, but not for long. Above them, the girl and her pursuer, a man in a long coat, hat pulled down to his eyebrows, a siren comes to life. Slowly at first, a lonely wail, a little feeble. It grows more certain, as if told for sure, yes, they are coming, and others join in. One by one, rising into a howl, a pack of wolves warning the forest of the horror that's coming. The sirens drown everything, the sound of his running, the sound of hers. She can't even hear her heavy breathing, panting from the effort of her long run. This is what the sirens wail. Run, run, the end of the world is minutes away. The girl does as they tell her, flinging a glance back over her shoulder. There is a hope, just a flicker through her sharp mind. Might the raid make the man give up? No, he's still there, eyes fixed on her, now a little closer, because he is a man in the peak of his life, and she is a girl near the start of hers. She lets out a gasp, tiredness and fear. She has to get away. This way to the shelter, instructs a sign at the crossroads. She does not obey it, and runs in the opposite direction. Ahead of her a church, its spire pointing the way to the heavens. The church is dark, no hint of light shining behind its blacked-out windows. The sirens continue to wail, rising and falling, terrible in their chorus. Run, run. The girl turns the corner, and out of sight of the man, darts into the churchyard. She glances around. Should she hide here? Find a large gravestone and crouch behind it? It's difficult to think, because she's breathing hard. The man is coming, and all the time the sirens are screaming, screaming, screaming. Run, run. She follows the path up to the church, and throws herself against the door, her left hand scrabbling for the handle, her right gripping the case. He mustn't get it. The door opens, and she races down the nave, between row after row of empty pews. In here, the sirens sound no quieter. They're as insistent as ever. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. They would have left occupied France and crossed the channel to the west of Dover, heading north, looking for the telltale bends of the silvery Thames, bringing the end of the world. The girl reaches the altar, 2/3 of the way down the church of St. Dunstan. She turns around and backs herself against it, the case clutched to her chest, arms wrapped around it. She should have gone to the shelter. She would have had a crowd to hide in, perhaps the protection of others. She could have been safe there, safe from him, and she glanced up at the roof of the church. She couldn't help it. Maybe even safe from what is coming. The sirens stop as the man appears. The girl is frozen. She can't move her legs, and neither will her mind work any more. Now she can hear, her breathing ragged and desperate. There is nowhere left to run. Across London, from the great docks of the east to the great houses of the west, a stillness settles. Not for long, precious seconds as the city holds its breath, hoping perhaps that nothing is coming after all. Might it be another false alarm? Those wretched sirens. The drone is distant at first, like a lazy bee wandering from sunflower to sunflower. It grows louder, changes, becomes a growl, and from somewhere on the city's edge comes the first crump of an explosion, a bomb timer with an itchy finger. At first the explosions rumble in the distance. They come closer and grow louder as they do, as if Goliath himself was striding down London's streets, pounding a huge drum. His timing is terrible. There is no rhythm. Boom, boom, ba-boom, boom, 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 ba-boom, boom. Closer and closer, the sound of one explosion barging into another, so many bombs tumbling out of the September sky. A dreadful noise fills the night. The earth shakes. The man is in front of her now. The girl presses herself back against the altar, still holding onto the case for dear life. She shakes her head before he says anything. She notices his breathing is heavy too. Perhaps she should have gone on running. Perhaps She could have outrun him, but there is no outrunning from what's coming above. They are directly overhead now, invisible in the night sky, despite frantic efforts by the searchlight beams, criss-crossing vainly. The man takes another step towards her. He reaches out his right hand and points at her chest. "Give me the bag." His voice is soft, reasonable, as if he's opened the door to the baker's boy on a sunny summer morning. "Give me the bag." He says it again, and she shakes her head. "Ja, bitte." She shakes her head, and they both look up. An interruption in their exchange. They can hear a distant whistle. They stand and stare upwards, even though there's nothing to see. Her with the bag still held tight, he with his hand still outstretched. The whistle grows louder and louder, not particularly quickly it seems, but the sound fills the entire sky, fills the church, pierces their ears, stabs deep into their heads, and then, nothing.